Hey there folks, this is Hyugren, your nomadic gamer. We've got ourselves a bona fide mystery here on Duck Detective, so let's preen our Duck Detective downy feathers so that every red herring just rolls right off our back.
To helping? No, that's not right. Alright, I'll come back to that. There's so many people who blank is the salami bandit's blank because the salami bandit needed someone who could easily carry out the blank of the blank. Huh. So I got infatuation. So used to date. So that's gotta be Boris. Boris, but is he an accomplice? He's not a lover. Is he an enemy? Because he used to date Sophie would be my first guess. A salami bandit needed someone who could convince. No, that's not right. No? You could say that Sophie was the salami bandit's enemy because the salami bandit. No. That doesn't work either. And that has to be a... Well, they don't have friend over here. And this one would have to be friend. Boris is the salami bandit's friend because the salami bandit needed someone who could easily carry out the importing of the salami? Nope. What am I missing here? What is this one? Boris is... No. Two or fewer things are wrong. Oh.
The salami bandit wasn't working alone. It made sense for the bus driver to be involved.
Okay. So that was surprising. So, let's turn this back into that, and we'll say, no, not enemy. Lover? No. Infatuation. We could say... No, not Margaret, because Rufus was doing the blackmailing. So he used to date Margaret. What I hate about this is that this is like a run-on sentence, and I really need a break so I can tell what the subject of this last half of the sentence is supposed to be. That's killing me right now. The salami bandit needed someone who could convince blank into blank. I want to say this part is right, that Rufus is the salami bandit's enemy because he used to date Margaret, and the salami bandit needed someone who could convince Margaret into selling? Or Rufus into selling? No. Let's go back to Margaret. We'll just kind of like brute force if you think dating. That's ridiculous. No, not snitching, not stalking. That's awful. What am I missing here? What if he's not the enemy? And what if he's also an accomplice? Nope. it's not selling. Now I'm just trying to... Two or fewer things. But if Boris is the... Huh? What is going on here? Not enemy, not lover. You know, it's two or fewer things are wrong. So... Interesting. Okay, so what if... Hear me out. It's Sophie. There we go.
I couldn't believe Sophie managed to talk Boris into this.
Because I had ideas. Okay.
I had it all figured out now. It was time that I confront the culprits.
Let's do this thing.
But first,
what?
I had to free Sophie.
Oh, yeah, that's appropriate.
Oh.
Sophie! What happened?
What's going on out here?
Why is everyone yelling?
This looks dramatic.
Shush, Freddy. Shush.
It's kind of a long story.
I can cliff note it for you.
And guess who deduced said long story? The one and only Duck Detective.
Read the room.
This
We're outside,
is
shut
how
up.
everything went down. The Britzel Bearbus branch was suffering losses and had their budget cut as a result. Manfred, worried about the financial stability of his family, felt himself backed into a corner. This is when he became the Salami Bandit. He made his grand plan of salami smuggling and realized he couldn't do this alone. He recruited Boris, since it would be easiest for the bus driver to load and unload the wares discreetly.
Plus, he's the
The
busiest
bus would
one.
go through a customs check at the
Oh my
Salsicha bus
gosh.
station first. And then Boris would take a detour to get the salami and load it onto the bus. This is why the buses always had a huge delay. It wouldn't be easy to talk Boris into crime, so Manfred convinced Sophie to join the team. Boris's obsession with her would make it easy for her to manipulate him into helping with their plan. Everything was going well until the Duck Detective, that's me, infiltrated the office. Freddy was meant to be the scapegoat for the crime, but I'm not fooled that easily. Sophie began getting cold feet and ultimately wanted to confess to the police. Manfred couldn't have this, so he interfered. In an outburst of panic, he abducted her and hid her in the luggage compartment of one of the buses. And this is why Manfred stole Laura's lunch!
What?
Everything is figured out, but
That's so bonkers,
who
though.
is truly guilty? Manfred, Sophie, and Boris are all involved in the smuggling. Who should get arrested for their crimes? Manfred was the mastermind behind everything.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna...
Should
Don't force me to
Manfred
do
get
this.
arrested?
Yes, he should.
He is the reason this all started in the first place. Of course he should be arrested.
Good.
What about Sophie? Without her, the smuggling wouldn't have been possible. She manipulated poor Boris into taking the salami across the border. Should Sophie get arrested?
Oh my gosh. But there's that whole issue with her family that we don't know anything about, and she could have been pressured into this whole thing. Now it just becomes, is it like, well, taking habits. Now it becomes a whole black and white issue. I mean, did she only get nervous and want to confess because we were getting on to the actual crime, or was it her conscience that was also weighing heavily down on her? I don't know. I'm gonna say yes.
What she did was clearly illegal. She needs to face the consequences. Boris was at the end of the chain. Had he refused to take the salami on board, the plan would have not worked out. Should Boris get arrested?
Again, because this has now become a black and white issue, it's gonna be another yes.
He might have not realized what was going on entirely, but that doesn't mean he's not liable for engaging in the smuggling. All right, I've made up my mind. I will report to the state police. Manfred! Sophie! Boris!
And I do it again!
Really, dude?
Anything to secure my family's well-being.
I know you mean
I'm not
well,
sure
but
grand-scale salami smuggling was necessary for that.
How else was I going to cope with all the budget cuts? If anyone actually worked in this office, we wouldn't have such terrible performance in the first place.
Hey, I work.
she does.
Yes, and then you keep asking for promotions.
She deserves
How am I
it.
going to give anyone a promotion if we have people baking cakes during working hours? And while we're at it, Rufus, how dare you embezzle money from the company and then threaten me?
That's... Rufus said we're only doing that until his book takes off.
We?
And then I'll play the lead alien in the movie adaptation.
Oh my goodness.
Look who's going to jail now, Manfred. Not me, that's for sure.
Actually, can we
stand by
report
what I
Rufus
said.
though?
I regret nothing.
What is this? If
Laura's
I
like
had
the
known that calling
Laura
the duck detective
and
would
Freddy.
result in this, I would have never done it. You were supposed to find out who stole my lunch.
I
Not
did.
accuse my best friend of smuggling.
But she did. She did do the thing though.
I knew this was a bad idea from the beginning. Why did Boris have to lose the bag? My God, he is such an idiot!
I had no idea it was that important. Why didn't anyone tell me about the plan? You said your cousin was ill, and the only thing that would make her happy was the salsiccia salamis.
Oh my goodness.
I should have known. If you're stupid enough to believe that,
Oh wow,
then
she's
you're also too stupid to bring a couple sausages across the border.
she's terrible.
Wow, you really did quack the case, Mr. Duck Detective.
Okay, enough
You're
out of
just
you,
as
dude.
cool as I imagined.
Not now, Fredderson.
Seriously, not now.
The truth. The truth is an ugly mistress. But it is my duty to throw bread to the fine beak of Lady Justice.
I knew it was gonna be Lady Justice. Oh, so. Wow, y'all really had that much sympathy for Sophie, even though she's a horrible person. Wow, everyone. Look at that. Almost everybody was like, nah, throw that bear into jail. Throw the stupid bus driver to jail. But people were just like, oh, but Sophie, she's got such a terrible break. I mean, granted, I was almost on that same route. My goodness. amazing. We don't get to be reunited with Anna? After all we did? Should have eaten all the bread we could. This was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed this game. And I hope you folks enjoyed watching and solving the puzzle along with me. I really hope there's more to it. From what I understand, there's supposed to be another case later on. I do plan on getting that one, and we'll see how that one works out. Thanks for joining me on this ride again, folks. This was fun. This was fun. I really liked this. Until next time, folks. Peace.
I want to thank you folks for coming by to watch my videos. It means a lot to me. Now if you enjoyed this video and you want to support more of my content, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. Maybe start a conversation in the comments. Now I publish content every Tuesdays and Thursdays, but if you feel like you need an extra reminder, go ahead and click that notification bell. And until next time folks, peace.